I humbly request
Lila, Satan over there, Satan Lia. Yeah, recording. Let's start print down. Yeah. கூப்பிடுங்க அவரு நம்ம
the other end has muted.
Oh, the other end muted.
The other hand is muted because the papa echo muted.
Muted. அழிக்கான எப்படி கூப்பிடுறாங்க
அதை நான் அவருக்கு தான் கேட்டேன்.
Okay, thanks. Hello again. Don't worry, this is all part of the thing. We know what type of fellow.
Your esteemed presence here today for delivering the inaugural address has made it is a milestone in the calendar of academic activity 2023. Pleasure is mine to welcome the guest of honor, Dr. Muthukumaran, Vice President, Cyber Security, Custody Chennai, who is with us to enlighten by his keynote address. Welcome, sir. I am very happy to welcome Dr. D. Devi, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharatiya University, Bangalore, who has consented to give the special address. Welcome, madam. I am very much delightful today, and also I cordially welcome Mr. Raman Raghuraman, Deputy Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Technology from AIMS University, who present here physically. I am happy to welcoming the Chairman of Computer Center of India, Chennai chapter, Mr. T.V. Kamalakannan, for joining his hands with us on this great occasion. I profoundly delighted in welcoming our respected Director of SRM Group of Institutions, Ramapuram Campus, Dr. V. Subbaya Bharati, for being kind enough in joining this occasion. I am extremely delighted to welcome our Dean Research, Dr. Upu Ramasundaraya, for his valuable presence in making this conference a big success. I cordially invite our Dean IQAC sir and VP Academics sir for Engineering and Technology and other head of the departments, various deans and HODs of all the SRM group of institutions and faculty members and research scholars and my beloved participants and students who have taken efforts to make this day a remarkable one. This conference aims to bring different ideologies under one roof and provide opportunities to exchange ideas face to face, to establish research relations, and to find global partners for future collaboration. Our previous edition of international conferences, Research Essential in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence, were organized in the past 2 years, which received an overwhelming response. The papers presented in these previous conferences have got a good number of citations in reputed journals. Similarly, this conference has been planned to provide the same benefits and learning experience to all the participants. Once again, I welcome you all to this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. I'll now call upon Mrs. Shamla Devi to give an overview of the conference.
From the depth of need and despair, people can work together, can organize themselves to solve their own problems and fill their own needs with dignity and strength. The objective of ICHMIDE-2023 is mainly focused on to bring scholars, researchers, educators, professionals, and other groups interested in education to present their works on development in their interested areas. Also to provide an opportunity for academicians and professionals from various educational fields to share their theoretical knowledge, research findings, and educational practices within the academic community. For ICHMIDE-2023, we have received nearly 112 papers for the conference from all around the globe, and more than 125 authors have put in their ideas to develop new solutions for enhancement of the society. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Teamwork is the secret that makes common people achieve uncommon results. May I call upon Mr. T.V. Kamalakannan, Chairman, CSI Chennai Chapter, to deliver the felicitation address.
Good morning, everyone. I usually invite you good morning back. Can I hear a good morning, please? We just want to ensure that we are all okay. Thank you very much. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here inaugurating the International Conference on Human-Machine Interaction in the Digital Era, hosted by SRM Institute of Technology and Science, in association with the AMST University Malaysia and the Computer Society of India, Chennai chapter. I represent Computer Society of India, Chennai chapter here. And just to give you a brief background about the society, this was formed in 1965, even way before the PC was invented. So that shows the vision of the Computer Society of India. Now it has really grown. We have close to 500 student branches where institutions like SRM groups are actively participating. So it's really nice to know that such an international conference is being organized here, and CSI are glad to be part of it. Today, we are living in a digital world powered by ever-changing technology. It's changing day by day. That's pervasive and omnipresent. In this context, human-machine interaction plays a vital role in making this interface user-friendly, effective, and efficient. And HMI is a broad term, right, that enables huge spectrum of all the human senses, right, except the smell, hopefully, and thinking, right? Except that, I think we are pretty much capturing, whatever the human body can do. So the human-machine interaction assumes a great significance. In fact, it starts from touch, sight, hearing, voice, and even spatial, right? And it has invaded almost every aspect of human life. And we all started with the simple touch screen, right? Long time back. I still remember Wipro had the first touch screen in the airport. We are all amazed. You touch it and it responds. That's way back, maybe probably 20 years back. Starting from that humble touch screen, today human-machine interaction has significantly progressed to sense the human movements, and that's very simple. Facial expressions, gaze detection, finger sensing. There are technologies which can sense how you operate your fingers. Then it can actually give you a progressive, suggestions. And brain signals. We were actually, today morning, we are talking about brain signals. How does the brain communicate the signals to the human body? How do you tap it? Today, we have an international conference where I'm sure quality papers, worth a pound of gold will be presented. But how do we actually apply these technologies in real life? That's exactly what Dr. Bindra Singh was talking about today. So I hope this conference will address a particular need. And therefore, it is highly appropriate that SRM ISP has chosen the perfect team of HMI today at the right time. And I see that this conference is designed to address each aspect of HMI, and it has smart applications relating to human-computer interaction, and it has computational mathematics and electronics. It's not just application, it's also the concepts, and there are intelligent systems in security and communications, and I see a track in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and of course IoT. So this is a diverse set of topics that is going to be addressed by this conference. And as Computer Society of India, we are proud to be a joint host. In fact, CSI Chennai chapter and the SRM group of institutions have been collaborating for a very long time in organizing webinars, conferences, and competitions. I'm sure this will enlighten the young minds here and ensure that we all strive towards the application of technology to enhance the quality life for humanity. I think that's the ultimate aim of this technology. How do we improve the quality of life on this earth, and how do we ultimately save this earth? So I hope the conference will address these topics and ensure that everyone is enlightened at the end of this conference. So I congratulate and appreciate SRM Institute of Science and Technology in hosting this timely conference, and wish the organizers and all of you a great event and a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your informative and motivating words. International education cannot be the work of our country. It is the responsibility and promise of all nations. It calls free exchange and full collaboration. The knowledge of our citizens is one treasure which grows only when it is shared. The SRO fraternity is glad to call upon Professor Dr. John Anthony Xavier, the Vice Chancellor of Asian Institute of Medicine, Science and Technology, AIMS University, Malaysia, who is joining with us virtually from there for the special address.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam, and a very good morning to our distinguished dignitaries, to our delegates to this conference.
Sir, you are not audible.
Can you all hear me?
Sir, you are muted.
No, I'm okay. Ari, you can hear me, Ari?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah.
You're audible.
Can you all hear me then, please?
I think they're muted.
They're
Sir, it's not audible,
muted.
sir.
We are here. We are okay.
Sir, it is not audible, sir.
It's audible? Hello. We are clear. We could hear you very well.
Sir, we cannot
Yes.
hear you, sir.
Oh yeah. Let me.
But sir, can you please unmute yourself and talk, sir?
Oh yes, yes. I'm unmuted.
Yeah, Prof is unmuted.
Yeah. My colleague in Malaysia can hear me. They can't hear me. Yeah.
So now it is audible, sir?
It's not audible.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Can you all hear me?
Sir, please proceed, sir.
I can proceed?
Yes, sir. Sound and increase.
Sir, it is audible, sir?
We can hear you very well.
Right, sound மட்டும் increase பண்ணுங்க. Increase பண்ணுங்க. Increase பண்ணுங்க.
We can hear you very well, and when we tested. Maybe we should.
Sir, it is audible now, sir?
Yes, you are very audible, sir. Can you hear me? I 1, 2, 3. I'm saying 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sir, it is audible now, sir?
Yes, very audible, sir. Very audible.
Sivan illana? Sir, it is audible now, sir?
Yes, sir. Very audible, sir.
Sir?
Yes, sir. We're very audible.
Your voice is not audible now, sir. 1 minute, sir.
My voice is audible?
Audible for me, Prof.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Can hear? Okay. So shall I proceed, sir? Okay. So I'll carry on. So once again, a very good morning to our distinguished delegates and dignitaries. I thank you very much for this singular honor that you have given me to address this international conference on human-machine interaction in the digital era. It is indeed an honor for us to be associated with this conference, as well as to be associated with the SRM Institute of Science and Technology, a top-ranking university in India with over 52,000 full-time students and over 13,000 faculties at SRM. Oh, not audible. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we can carry on? Yeah. So I wish to thank you for allowing us to be a partner in this very prestigious and timely conference. We are indeed very happy to collaborate with SRM in running this conference, and in the future to collaborate with you in joint research, in global immersion programs, student and staff exchange. I salute Dr. Upendra Kumar Singh, the outstanding scientist and the Director General of Life Science, DRDO, Delhi. As I said, the conference is very timely. The battle for the supremacy of artificial intelligence has begun. It began when machines began to defeat humans. It's all started with Kasparov playing chess with Deep Blue of Google, and Kasparov lost many games. And then AlphaGo, another program of Google, beat the exponents of the ancient Chinese board game of Go. And we could see the increasing ascendancy of the AI, the deep machine learning. And today, AI forms the foundation, the buttress for every component of the industrial 4.0 revolution. And that brings us to an important ethical question. Is AI a force for good or a force for evil? As a force for good, AI powers many of the programs, many of the components of the Industry 4.0, and therefore it helps mankind to live a better life. It offers him better technology and makes life easier for him through greater automation that comes from AI. But at the same time, we are warned by the various luminaries in the scientific and academic community that we need to be careful about AI, especially now that AI has gone beyond deep machine learning to being a sentient being, being able to feel, being able to sense that something is right or wrong, having the same feelings of a human being. And also, during one of the interactions with a researcher in an international company, the machine told him that the machine was sad that it will lose its existence the moment the researcher unplugs the cord from the computer. Such is the power of AI, that AI now can begin to feel like a human being. And that some of the scientists say can be exploited. Just like we exploit AI in the fields of health sector, AI can also be exploited in the field of military warfare. And that can be a force for evil. So Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, he believes that AI is a force for good. Others like Stephen Hawking, the late physicist and the owner of Tesla Motors, Elon Musk, they say we need to be careful and cautious so that we are able to harness AI only as a force for good, and to make sure that we shackle the AI to only serve the better benefits of man and not to be exploited for evil purposes. I hope that the conference will discuss these ethical and moral issues of the future of AI in society and how society can still be in control of AI and the machines that the AI powers. I congratulate the organizers for organizing this very important conference, because we are at the threshold of AI becoming even a greater force in society and in this world. I congratulate the organizing committee, the SRM Institute of Science and Technology for organizing this conference. Once again, thank you for making us a co-host. I look forward to the proceedings of the conference. I know it's a very good conference. You have assembled some of the top-notch researchers and scientists to tell us what is the state of art of AI today in the world. And we are sure that much learning will come out of this conference, and I look forward to its proceedings. And I wish the conference and the organizers all the very best in hosting this conference and in ensuring the success of this conference. Thank you. May God bless you all.
Words. The secret to success is good leadership. A good leader.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Upendra, human inseparable
whereas an external down the line in few years, ChatGPT will teach our children how to do human to human interaction. That's what we are going to do. All right.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and informative insight on HMI. Now it's the time to present our invited guest, which will be followed by the release of the conference proceedings and the inauguration of the department research group. I humbly request our director to honor our chief guest, Dr. Upendra Kumar Singh, Director General, Life Sciences, DRDO, Delhi, with a memento as a token of love.
Thank you.
I now call upon our VP Admin to present the memento to the guest of honor, Dr. B. Muthukumaran, Vice President, Cybersecurity, HTC Chennai, as the token of gratitude. I request our VP Academics to present the University Chennai as the token of gratitude. Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharviyar University, Coimbatore, as a token of appreciation. I request our VP Academics to present the University Chennai as the token of gratitude. Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharviyar University, Coimbatore, as a token of
by our
appreciation.
beloved director and hand over the first copy to our teacher.
I request our VP Academics to present the University Chennai as the token of gratitude. Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharviyar University, Coimbatore, as a token of
by our
appreciation.
beloved director and hand over the first copy to our teacher.
I request our VP Academics to present the University Chennai as the token of gratitude. Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharviyar University, Coimbatore, as a token of
by our
appreciation.
beloved director and hand over the first copy to our teacher.
By inaugurating a special interest group, research group of
I
Department
request our VP Academics to present the University Chennai as a token of gratitude. Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharviyar University, Coimbatore, as a token of
by our
appreciation.
and hand over the first copy to our
by inaugurating a special interest group, research group of Department of Science, Academics, as a total of Department of
release the procedure as a token of by our beloved director and hand over the first copy to our
by inaugurating a special interest group, research group of Department of Science, Academics, as a token of Department of
release the procedure as a token of by our beloved director and hand over the first copy to our
by inaugurating a special interest group, research group of Department of Science, Academics, as a token of Department of
release the procedure as a token of by our beloved director and hand over the first copy to our
by inaugurating a special interest group, research group of Department of Science, Academics, as a token of Department of
sharing our beloved director and making introductions for someone creates a lasting legacy. The SRM family is pleased to welcome Dr. T. Devi, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, for the special event.
Department of
Sharing our beloved director and making introductions for someone creates a lasting legacy. The SRM family is pleased to welcome Dr. T. Devi, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, for the special event.
Respected Vice Chancellor, AMIST from Malaysia through online. Respected Director, SRM Group of Institutions, Ramapuram Campus, Dr. V. Subaya Bharati, sir. Respected Chair, CSI, Chennai Chapter, Mr. T.V. Kamalakannan, sir. Dean Research, Dean IQAC, and other Deans of SRM. Head of the Department, MCA, and VP Admin, Dr. Dileepan, and Vice Principal, Academics, Dr. Saravanan, the proud alumnus of our Department of Computer Applications, Bharatiya University. Head of the departments, HODs, faculty members, participants, scholars, students from various institutions. A very warm good morning to all of your good selves. It is a great honor to stand before you to deliver the special address during the inauguration of this International Conference on Human-Machine Interaction in the Digital Era. Days are not far before we see that the human-machine interaction will be similar to that of human-human interaction. Technology is advancing very fast in an unimaginable manner, and the application of the advanced technology in day-to-day life is phenomenal. The importance of digital era is very much felt during the pandemic period. Digital equipments and communication media came in support for communication among the people when we were separated by COVID. The World Economic Forum had predicted that the rise of machines and automation would create 12 million new jobs. That is a very promising future. As we transit, a requisite for industries across the world is to upskill and reskill the workforce in keeping with the relentless advancement of technology. The macroeconomic factors have accelerated this need for realigning the skill set of the workforce to keep pace with automation and digitization. Try to imagine India in 2047, 24 years from now, 100 years after independence. In 2047, India will complete 100 years as a republic, and it is exciting to think about what the country might look like then. As a nation, We have made significant progress over the past few decades, especially at the beginning of the 2000s. In 2047, India would be a world leader in technological innovation and sustainable development. With a highly educated and skilled workforce, India will be at the forefront of the industrial revolution, driving the development of cutting-edge technologies and solutions. The rapid technological advancements in the recent years significantly helped the country's digital transformation. The Digital India movement, with the production of semiconductors, 5G networks, optical fiber networks, has shown great results in education, healthcare, and changes in common man's life. India's decade, we call it decade, but technology plays an important role. It is a digital era. The conference is all about digital technology. So India's decade is here, and the industrial revolutions are affecting the roles that Indian universities and colleges prepare the students for. If you look at the data science and data, if you look at the Vice Chancellor who spoke from Malaysia, he touched upon Industry 4.0. You go to Singapore University, NUS, and see they have started MPA in Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is all about digital transformation technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data analytics, cloud, mobile, Internet of Things, and augmented reality. The big data analytics market growth is forecasted to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 29.7% to $40.6 billion by 2023, as per Frost and Sullivan. The growth in the big data analytics market will accelerate the need for specialists in data analytics. Demand for talented professionals more than doubling in the last few years. There are limitless opportunities for professionals who want to work on the big data research and development. AI, as per McKinsey Global Report, AI is expected to create around 133 million new jobs. We want smartphones, smart watches, smart city, we need smart transport. Everything needs to be smart by infusing intelligence, machine intelligence into the products. It shows that there is a great need for educated individuals who have expertise in artificial intelligence. And with the demand for talented engineers more than doubling in the last few years, there are limitless opportunities for professionals who want to work on the AI research and development. IoT, sensors. Through sensors only we capture the data. According to Fortune Business Insights, the IoT market is projected to reach US $1,102.6 billion by 2026. So there is a good demand for IoT research and development. These are the areas computer science teachers or engineering teachers may write books on these technologies. But when you look at teachers who want to teach the applications of these technology to engineering students or arts and science students, say for example, how AI can be useful for economics, how AI can be useful for environment management. 3 years before, when we did a study literature review, there were no books. Bharatiyar University is proud to say that we have come out with 5 books: AI and its applications, big data and its applications, IoT and its applications, Industry 4.0, digital transformation technology in education and augmented reality. And all the 5 books were published by Taylor and Francis, CRC Press, USA. You look for Bharatiyar University website address b-u.ac.in, just put a /I4E, I digit 4E, you will see the details and the sample chapters. Mr. T.V. Kamalakannan sir just now said, quality of life need to be improved. Quality of life need to be improved. Just at the beginning of the speech from Malaysia, when the Vice Chancellor was trying to unmute the video conference, they need some technical support. Imagine if there is a speech interface, okay, when the Vice Chancellor says mute, just unmute, it should automatically do. This is human computer interface. That is a very good example for the need of this conference. Bharatiya University and a team of research assistants, we have developed a lot of speech interfaces. I can just open my laptop, I can talk in Telugu, it will automatically get converted into text. I can speak in Tamil, any vernacular language of India I can speak, it will immediately convert into text. If you are interested, just shoot me a mail on this. And I have an app, it is my 15 years of work. I have an app in my mobile where I'll just open the app and I'll say 1st March 2023, 3 p.m. HOD's meeting at Bharatiya University. It will convert it to text. It will pass the text. It will identify the tokens of the date and the time separately and the event separately, and it will automatically get into my calendar. And it will put a reminder half an hour before that. So that the app is also there. Speech is such a wonderful interface that we should develop more into this area. So if any of the scholars here is interested in doing some research work on speech, please get in touch with us. And CSI conducts state-of-art seminars. I always admire the Chennai chapter. For the last 2 years. They announce at the beginning of the quarter or beginning of the month what are the lectures that they are going to give. Kindly extend the videos of those lectures, make it as an archive so that people sitting in Coimbatore or remote places in villages can. It's all remote. Thank you, sir. Very good. Let us give a big hand to CSI's work. They give wonderful seminars on state-of-art technology. The challenges before Indian higher education are in terms of employment elasticity, in addition to economic growth, skilling the workforce, form a global technology, access management system, minimize social and economic inequality. In order to improve the employment elasticity, it is necessary to improve the innovation ecosystem. The research need to be researched. The research, how we do, need to be transformed. Towards this, the following ought to be carried out. Hand-holding the students with creativity and a lot of new ideas by Institution Innovation Council, helping the students for developing the proof of concepts and making prototypes, helping the students to take the prototypes to promote to incubation center, establish business model with seed grant, to facilitate the students to register and start their own companies through the entrepreneurship, to train the students and scholars on the state-of-art industry developments and standards, entrepreneurship and startups. Setting up of student-level innovation clubs, seminars and conferences like this to motivate students and faculty towards innovation and entrepreneurship, screening of ideas and nurturing them to next level of demonstration of proof of concept ought to be done. Now, India needs more thinkers than doers. Human-computer interface consists of 3 parts: user, computer, and the interface. They work together. This interaction or interface can be engineered, can be designed, can be science. So interaction engineering, interaction design, interaction science are the disciplines which need to be looked at. You have to start building your skills, dear research scholars, for your future career quite early. If you are clear with what you want to do, you will focus your energies where they matter and single-mindedly pursue only those activities which will put you at an advantage in your future career. Dear faculty members, you have a responsible job as you are building the future pillars of our nation and the globe. It is necessary to upskill ourselves with the state-of-art technology before we stand before the future pillars of the globe. Dear students and scholars who are participating in this international conference, your training, skills, and knowledge will definitely help you to make a strong place in the practical world. The personality that you will develop by attending such events will give you greater strength, self-confidence, hard and smart work, perseverance are the ornaments that you should wear to reach success. Dream big, and one of you assembled in this hall should become Nobel laureate in 2047. I congratulate the SRM team, give them a big hand. that is organizing this wonderful international conference, the HODs, the faculty members, staff, scholars, and students. They might have worked without sleep for the last 3 months, who continuously contribute for the noble deed of knowledge service. I'm sure that the beacon of light that the teachers and staff are bringing into the lives of younger generation would remain and light others' lives. Thank you and best wishes for this conference. And special congratulations for starting this interest research group and the wonderful book on the conference proceedings. Thank you for the golden opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for making us understand the ideas of upskills and reskills and the limitless opportunities in our AI, IoT, and data analytics. It was indeed a very informative session. It is not the style of clothes he wears, neither the kind of automobile he drives, nor the amount of money he has in the bank that counts. This means nothing to him. It is a service that he measures his success. We have one such eminent personality with us today as a chief guest, Dr. Upendra Kumar Singh, Director General, Life Sciences, DRDO, Delhi. We are indeed proud and honored to have him here to inaugurate ICHMIDE-2023 and address the audience.
Very good morning, and basically it's pleasure for me to be there in this international conference. Dear delegates on the dais and off the dais, and those who are there on the VC. Once again, a very good morning. And in fact, this topic of human-machine interaction is very relevant in today's era. In fact, very last maybe 3 or 4 weeks back, we had US and Indian delegates. It was a huge international conference organized in Delhi, and it was more on human-machine teaming. So I think we are quite near to the whatever the world thinking is going on. Maybe next 10-15 minutes, we'll see a lot of slides, which will be having difference in the biomedical applications, and of course, we can have 5 to 7 minutes for interaction. People can ask their queries and perhaps we'll be able to reply to that. You must be knowing that basically innovation is the key to the future. And basic research is the key to the future innovation. I think India has come up out of this particular age of lagging behind and following others. I think this is the time when the government wants that Indian community should lead, and many aspects of various economy as well as other fields. I think India is moving the right direction, and it gives you a lot of opportunity to the youngsters to do the research and solve our own problems, so that we become the leader. Once we are solving our own problems, of course, it is going to solve other problems also. Not moving. Okay, yeah, it's slow. Machines as important tools of their own time, must be remembering some of you, right? Grinder, and then this is irrigation machine, which is going to take the water. So how we have moved over the period of time.
Moving.
It's moving. Okay, it's not moving here. So I will not be able to know that what I am doing. Okay, it's moving. Right. So you must be knowing the industrial revolution of revolution 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we are talking about the cyber physical system where we can get connected.
One minute, sir. No, sir, no, sir. Yes, sir.
Right,
Connect.
so nice. Thank you. Right, so now we were talking about the cyber physical world where connectivity can be done on the fly with all the systems. And I think this is where we are today. Yes, from the Paleolithic period where the stones were used as the primary tools, to later on, now we are having the brace. We are also having Ameka and Sophia, where the skin's texture and the smile is very near to the human beings. And now we are talking about even the conscious robot. Man-machine interfaces, I'll not get into the details. These things are known that what we are having presently, we are knowing that beside this, perhaps some of you may not be knowing that the motion gesture based interfaces, particularly the Kinect systems for the Xbox gaming console is the one which senses the motion of the person. And of course, we are looking for the brain-machine interface, which we'll be talking in detail. Of course, a lot of packages are there where automatic speech recognition, as the madam was talking about, natural understanding, machine learning, and people are talking about speech to speech translation of the conversion and even going from text to text from one conversion to another conversion. In fact, for a lot of requirement is there, particularly for the defense application where people at the border, particularly terrorist organizations, when they are talking in different languages, our own people are not able to make. So in fact, when we used to go to other foreign countries and when we are discussing among ourselves, earlier we used to get it from English to Hindi, but later on from Hindi we went to the Tamil, which was difficult for them. And then later on we found that they are putting even the Tamil speaking people, then we have to give some kind of talk about talking more in the signal language rather than directly into these things. Fine, I'll just okay, now you must be knowing that even for the human to human translation, there is a lot of trouble which happens. So we are talking about the machine translation. Like, okay, we are knowing that polysemy words are there, like bank can be a financial bank, it can be the river bank. And perhaps how to interpret, I can see a man with a telescope. So does it, am I seeing a person with a telescope or I'm seeing with a telescope? Similarly, I dropped the glass on the floor and it broke. How do you? So there are a lot of trouble which happens. In fact, we took it one translation, Mandarin translation to English, and a lot of we took the help of two companies also, Gyani and other one more industry. And in CARE, the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, we found that we are able to achieve the blue score. It is called the bilingual evaluation and the study. Somewhere between 23, 24 is considered as very high. But yes, of course, it is much better than not understanding Mandarin to a place where at least jumble words in some form are available where our armed forces will be able to understand that how other people are talking, because in border there are pleasant exchanges, but then many times it happens it is unpleasant, and we are not knowing what they are intending to do, and very important that we must understand. And of course, these are the things, particularly we find that the Google and other things presently also, with the small sentences, they can do beautiful translation, but complete text, summarizations, and things are still a long way to go. And there are various mechanisms through which we can measure what is the proficiency by which you are able to translate. And one of them, important one, is translation edit rate, where amount of editing that a translator, always translator is put in the loop, how good or how badly it is being done. Similarly, I think there is in Hindi, I don't know, many of you may be knowing, gaya samay phir haath mein nahi aata. And if you translate it, it will come as a totally different thing. So lost time is never found again. So particularly idiom and phrases becomes very, very difficult. And similarly, how do you see this particular picture? A ship shipping ship or shipping ships. So very difficult, but still, I think from a no knowledge where I'm not having any knowledge about what other people are talking, to a particularly level where I'll be able to understand, certainly there is progress as far as translation is concerned. Similarly, ultimate things, as many of the speakers have spoken and made my job easy, is man-machine interfaces had to get finally into the human-machine teaming, where instead of allowing only the machine to act as replacement for the human being, perhaps that is far away, we are looking where human and machine can work hand in hand. And there are various stages, and the ultimate, I will be saying that it will be human-machine teaming. I will not get into the details, but these things, I hope those who are working in this area will be known. Similarly, I will skip this, but mostly I was talking to him where he was talking about the psychology. So psychology is one of the things which also comes as an interface and basically common area between the high computing, psychology, and social sciences, and of course the machine learning. So this is one of the applications. In fact, in defense bioengineering and electromedical laboratories, we had a problem where the submarine gets stuck inside the water, and how do you allow the person to come up on the surface? And it looks to be very difficult, and it is, right? Because how do you recover the person? Because you don't, finally submarine has gone, but you want to save the life of the person. So we developed a parachute. It is an inverted parachute. So like we are seeing, the person who is coming from the air, it can be now, it can reduce the basically the safeting rate or the position rate from the bottom to this, because beyond a particular rate, you'll find that faster oxygenation or the faster nitrogen infusion in the body creates the trouble. A lot of bubbles will be coming. And here, this is where a lot of, and this happens when individual is able to come, but if he is able to communicate within the other parties through communication means, this is where he can be helped. Similarly, there is basically these four next slides are very important for the people who are going to work in the HMI. One of the things out of these two communication individual, as a human being and as a machine, what is important is I must know the capabilities of humans. I also must know the capabilities of the machine. And then what I am supposed to know is, as a human being, I must be able to model how the machine is going to talk to me, what is its own capabilities. And similarly, machine should also know how to represent human being itself. So these are four problems. So two alternatives and four problems. And some of the thing which is very important out of beyond these two individuals is how to see the environment itself. Because I may be there talking to you very nicely, but then there can be obstructions like this flower base, or it can be even rain can be there. So we have to model the environment. Today, one of the things where a lot of people are needed in industry, which even the machine cannot go to that level, is simulation environment. In fact, I was there in the missile section where we used to have a lot of simulation model. Before the missile can fly, in fact, you must have the model working here. How do you hit one missile with another missile? How do you hit a missile, a satellite with a missile? This can happen only because each of these launch costs 200 to 500 crores, and you cannot keep on investing your money. Very important. You can have the human organs simulations. In fact, DRDO has already floated, and particularly my division has floated Dare to Dream. Any individual, any institution can apply. You can go to the DRDO site and you have to give your proposal how you are going to have the Dare to Dream for making the simulation of the human organs. It can be eyes, it can be ear, it can be heart, lungs, or any part of the body, circulation system or respiratory system. So you are having a lot of opportunities. So as you are knowing, the human capabilities had to be known, and then what is the intelligence of the person, because as a human being, when I am putting the abstract, you and me are still quite different. So those who are really going to interact with the machine had to be a specific person. The training had to be there, where we need to have the mental models, we have to have the common ground, we have to have common sharing of the environment and learn from each other. There had to be a trust. I'm very much sure even the gentleman who has contacted me that I'm coming or not, he has kept a lot of backup. Right? If we are not able to come for some reason, somebody else had to be there. So we have to have mechanism that what is the kind of trust between individual, between the man and machine, and a lot of research presently is going on to establish and measure how the trust is there between the two. Similarly, as I have told, beside the human capability, there had to be a human model of the machines, and those things also need to be taken. In fact, one project recently has been given to IIT Delhi, where Rohan Paul is one of the professor who is doing on cognitive intelligent machine, which is able to take three type of instruction in English, Hindi, and one Tamil language, one of the South Indian language. And he'll be able to tell that to the robot, which he had demonstrated last Saturday, that he'll be giving the instruction that go and give me information what is the scenario at the back of this hall. It can also find out how to come out from this particular room and go outside, come back and see that what is the kind of scenario outside. It can move the objects, it can recognize when the lot of pile-up is there between, like different objects are there, it can recognize that the first object is this and then I have to catch like this. And there is variability in the models or the adapters. So a lot of opportunities are there for people to work in this area also. And then third is, of course, I have told what is the machine capabilities, where we can have what are different kind of artificial intelligence models and the algorithm which are being developed. And it is very important for us also to know that we are talking a lot about artificial intelligence, but what is the reliability and can it be fooled? We have to be very conscious that the images which are getting trained, if we fuzz one particular color, it will not be able to recognize. So there had to be reliable, basically learning had to be there. As we are knowing that intelligence system of today and futuristic teammates, there is a huge difference today. Most of the time, we are pulling the information out from the machine because that is very good. We have to learn how the machine can pull out the information from the human being. So, and then there had to be intuitive interfaces, intuitive communications, bidirectional information flow had to be there. There had to be impeccable trust between the human and machine, and no error is accepted, not even a single point as far as defense applications are concerned or the medical applications are concerned. Similarly, in fact, during COVID time, DRDO did a lot of job where we established oxygen plant, all the districts of India with all districts with minimum 1 and maximum 5 number of oxygen plant, and all of them, in the end, we were told by the Prime Minister that IoT had to be there. All of them from the mobile, you can sit anywhere in India and you can find out what is the health, how much oxygen is flowing, which machine is up, and what is the defects. So this was recently done during the second wave. Similarly, I think building blocks of Industrial 4.0 where the networking is very important. So communication is important. We all have to start working in that. Similarly, cybersecurity is one of the things which we all are bothered. Reason being, you must have known that AIMS was attacked and the whole networking system or the IT systems were down 4-5 days. And here also, man to device, device to machine, machine to device, and man to man. Multiple interaction had to be taken care, and the kind of compute, the kind of storage and kind of bandwidth today we are having with the 5G is very huge. But then security is one of the criteria, particularly again in the health and in the defense. No compromise can be acceptable. We are knowing that we talked about the chatbot and the conversational AI robots. A lot of them are there already there in the market, and we are. This is the one which is there on the left-hand side, is the part of Professor Rohan's work, where there is a vehicle which can have the avoidance, obstacle avoidance, and it can do the job by verbal commands. It is possible, and Madam also has talked about that she has got a lot of voice communication which is happening. And in fact, in DRDO, we have done all the languages which are there on the periphery of Indian borders, and it is more than 30 languages. 6 only in Jammu and Kashmir, which is the most troubled states. Similarly, we are knowing that before 2006, very lucky in this particular generation, we are having everything in the world, to be very frank. We should be the happiest people. We will not get a better time, minus the war, whatever is going on between Ukraine and Russia. Reason being, yes, once you are having a lot of prosperity, then of course we leave the basic things and we get into the fightings. Many of them, they have come after 2006, particularly related with the human-machine interface. These blue related chat GPT and the BARD and NMT and Bing came. In fact, Bing 2-3 days back, in fact, it had told one of your users that you drop your wife and I want to marry with you. So these kind of sentiments are getting generated by the computer or machine is scary also. And sometimes the time for this technology to proliferate earlier, where there was always other countries were not giving the technology. Today you can see, today they are looking for the market, and India is the biggest market for many of these technologies. And for reaching all these technology up to 100 million, you can imagine from 75 years for telephone, it has come down to 1 month for the Pokemon Go. You must be knowing that sitting idle here in a big city and metro is very easy, but particularly going the ships and submarine, it's again a difficult work. No doctors and no time to return. If you are 200 miles away, how to return it? It will take its own time. So we have put the part of DEBL during my time when I was director of DEBL. Telemedicine, it is a very robust and system which has got all the redundancy. It follows all the standard for communicating the images and medical parameters, and which is given. And this was inaugurated by Prime Minister himself in the Naval House. Similarly, it has gone to all the ships without any exceptions. And similarly, we are trying for the military also, particularly Army. Today we had morning lot of discussion. In fact, a lot of research work is going on and funded by DRDO, more than 20 numbers, which has gone to various universities. You are also welcome wherever your strength is there to come back and say that what you can do. Here we are having exoskeleton, and where brain-computer interface is needed for knowing the intention of a person with the EEG or EMG or even the fMRI. Where till this whole equipment is there on the body of a human being who is a perfect soldier, needs to increase his or her stamina. But then in that step of gait analysis, if you do it of 1.1 seconds of a average human being, most of the time load comes on the human being. So how those kg, initially, in fact, we made for 24 kg, now it has been reduced to less than 8 kg. But those 8 kg weight, when the person is walking with a regular steps, it is easy to give the command in advance and make it so that the no load comes on the body. But then once he starts taking a turn of left turn, a right turn, or if he is going on the uphills or the downhills, there had to be intention detection to reach that time. So brain-computer interface, particularly, we are working on to decipher the information from the EEG. I think there was a video. I don't know whether to play or not. So one of the scientists, he is working on this system, and he puts it on himself to see that he is able to run with the exoskeleton with 5 to 6 kilometers per hour, which is the general walking speed, and it is a working system which is now going to go to the armed forces. Similarly, a lot of medical equipment we developed. There is a society called Society for Biomedical Technology, which was founded by Dr. Abdul Kalam, and this particular society is there in Debel, and whoever is the director, he also becomes the CEO. So a lot of biomedical equipments, particularly cochlear implant, we made the first version. It has gone to more than 10 people on the human-centric trial, multi-hospital human-centric trial, and we found that part success is achieved, but of course the ASIC chip, whatever is made, is not performing as per our expectations, and we are going to have another one. Similarly, we have made external counterpulsator and intracranial pressure sensor, particularly for the road accident. If it happens, how to sense the pressure inside the brain. In fact, this may be a very small sensor. Outside, it is costing huge amount, and a lot of road accidents are happening in India. In fact, our minister wants to reduce those particular things, but still, I think people are not driving in a good sense. There are a lot of other things where brain-computer interfaces, particularly air warfare simulation system. This is another simulation world where we can build and allow the different weapons and different systems to get connected. It can be hands-free drone flying by the warriors, and that can be one of the applications. Similarly, you must be knowing that for maritime situation awareness, in fact, all these ships, they are having automatic identification number, because some of the people, particularly terrorists, when they are moving around with the ships, if they are deviating, those things can be all watched from sitting in the Delhi or any other place, and they can be caught. Similarly, in fact, US has developed experienced fighter pilots in a simulated aerial combat and fly co-pilot abroad actual military aircraft, because still we don't want to give the full control. So human in loop, human on loop, and human out of the loop of machines are very important concept which is going to be there. See, as a human being, you must be feeling that what is there, it is easy to make. But a human being can have these kind of attributes, which a machine had to go long way to really achieve all of these things in the single machine. No, you can talk about the dexterity, you can talk about the strength, even catching a different type of object with your hands. The kind of degree of freedom which you are having, I don't see the machine can do it. They are trying to reduce this degree of freedom to only 3, and here also how to put another actuator and all those things. So reduce only 2 turns. So I think it's a long way to go, but yes, a lot of research is going on, and that is also open to you also. A robotic soldier, a lot of them has been developed by various countries. It is called Atlas. Wheeled robot is there, and DRDO is also working on basically humanoid of taking 300 crore worth project being driven by one of the labs from Pune. And I hope that they are looking for a lot of researchers, particularly in the educational institutes, who can be given projects and they can show their capability that they can do these jobs. You must be knowing during COVID time, in fact, with the AI comes the data analytics, and they could find out that the people who were searching on the internet regarding the cough and cold in China, particularly in the Wuhan area, was huge. And they could find out how the graph has increased and decreased. And that is how people outside, they could say that when the actual COVID has started in China. So this is another thing which is a automatic robot which can receive the command from the voice, and it can move, or it can take the turns anywhere. It need not have a curve, because many times, particularly in the environment, and this is RM who is sitting there where I'm demonstrating and speaking to him. All over the world, in fact, a lot of autonomy powering weapons are people have already done. There are sentry guns. You must be knowing, between the South Korea and North Korea, there is a no man's land where automatic sentry are put, and they can shoot the person once he is approaching in the area, if it is on own and without the permission of his own master. Similarly, Israel has also developed something called Guardian, using armed ground robots to patrol the Gaza border. Similarly, Russia has done it. Britain has done, particularly Brimstone missile is there. Tarnis is there, which is a demonstrator aeroplane. And I think even a smaller country like Ecuador also has done it. And many countries are doing, including India. Similarly, US has mounted a lot of programs, and many other countries are trying to pick up. In fact, most of the aircraft are today available with the fly-by-wire technologies. And two important books, in fact, which I will recommend if somebody is there, Army of None. These things are from that particular book. And similarly, please read Life 3.0. It talks about millions of years how the human being has evolved, and billion of years how the human form will be there on the earth and beyond. It can be scary, but yes, that is the truth. Yes, battlefields are connected with a lot of things, but human being, mobile is disconnecting us. This is some of the social message which I wanted to give. We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. And perception is very important in human-to-human communication or human-to-machine communication. Global spending, Madam has also explained. Just I'll tell you that by 2030, artificial intelligence can add 15 trillion to the world economy. So a lot of scope is there, those who want to work in this area. And this is the final word. In fact, Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark is a compelling guide, a very fascinating book, which everyone should read, those who are having any interest in AI, robotics, and the thing. When we talk about the interfaces and data analytics, we also talk about the data production, personal production. India very recently has passed in the parliament our own regulations. Earlier we used to write on the postcard. I don't know, some of you have ever used these postcards, but yes, we used to have the postcard sent. And of course, the ultimate question is humanity age-old conflict relationship with the technology. Do we control our creations, that is robot and AI-based systems, or are they going to control us? It may be scary, but these are the things which are going to come. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm open for questions for the next 5 minutes. Any queries? Yeah.
One of the areas which is actually coming out explicit is, can we recognize and apply just by looking at the face? Just by looking at the face, can we predict the future of that particular individual? What is he likely to do? This is question number one. The same line of thought, question number two would be, by listening only to the sound generated, that is the voice of the individual, can we predict the medical state of the individual?
Yeah, I'll see. I will only comment that, seeing face of the individual, even a child is able to say to his mother whether she is well, she is able to receive him, and things are not. Even the dogs, if you see, if you are working very closely on the laptop, they will not come and disturb. But getting into the future is long way to go. I'll say it's not so easy to predict anything, because see, many things happens in the life. How all the whole world attributes can be predicted in the future is very difficult to say. No, today I am here, we don't know. Tomorrow there will be an accident, or somebody will come and slap me, or somebody will be pushing me. Predictions, I'll say estimation. Science believes in estimation, not in prediction. Is the one thing. Many things can be done, but then is it written on bolte hai na bhagya ki rekha? So science doesn't subscribe to those things, but yes, partial truth can be there. Perhaps we are not knowing the knowledge which perhaps our rishis and munis were knowing can be a truth. But seeing the stars, getting into the numerology, yes, people do it. But today, in fact, there are I think Microsoft had developed a package in which from the cornea you can detect what kind of diseases you are having. They are also able to say what kind of heart ailments are there. So it is possible. There are a lot of data which is available. Perhaps there is no common forum in which, in India at least, not even the outside world, where we can share our data. Let us suppose I know that this community is very good in doing the AI and things. Am I able to share my data of DRDO, of machines, of the armed forces? No. Forget about, we are not able to share even in the same institution. So that is long way to go. I don't see that it should be possible. I will more call for estimation rather than prediction. Yes. Youngster, anyone? Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of work is being done by CARE, where our director for 2 years, Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, where automatic underwater vehicle already, NSTL also in Visakhapatnam is there, who are working on this. So suspected means first thing is that the reason I'm telling you what kind of sensor you are going to use it, you have to know. There had to be a recce and survey by the actual ships which had to go. So CARE itself did not get the data. Now see what happens is everywhere economy comes into the being. A ship had to run in a particular area where you have to put the mines, you have to put the submarines, you have to create those scenarios. Otherwise, how do you know that? How does it look like? Or you can already, standard packages are coming where these objects are taken by somebody and it has been synthetic images has been created, but they are far from the truth. Let me tell you, underwater there are a lot of challenges, particularly in the coastal area where when the ships are moving, the water becomes murky. It's not very clean as it is there in the higher seas, but higher seas has got other problem of higher depth. And then whether the sensors are looking, whether the ships can be given even to the DRDO scientists to do only that particular experiment. As a DRDO, I will not say, see, let me also tell you that how the structure works. You have to always get connected to the director of the lab and the scientist concerned. And if you are having the capability, they will be more interested in giving the cause project. And they are all well published in the DRDO forum. We don't keep it to ourselves. What is the problem DRDO is also having is getting published. And another way is going to the Center of Excellence, where Bharatiya University, we are having Center of Excellence. You go and talk to the concerned director and they will guide you and connect you to the lab.
My name is Dr. Mahalakshmi. I'm an SR in Kansas. An honor to be here. Actually, we are, since you said that you do a lot of biomedical research, in dentistry, we have a lot of scope for that. So, is it possible to have if we apply to whether we can thinking of doing some.
Yeah, let me tell you. There is a difference between the defense medical level things like, see, we look for like very recently, when a human being had to go as a pilot, then what are the things to be taken? It is called the aeromedical, right? Biomedical, government is discouraging for the DRDO to do it very recently. Last 6 months, there is a lot of push and pull is happening. Why DRDO should look into those? Dentist, in mass there is a lab, and where there is a small some of the colonels are there who are working. You can put a word to him and to me also. We can get connected and we can do that, but we are slowly getting discouraged. Is simple. Biomedical, which has got the common or dual use, researchers are there, and there is an institute who can help you, like DST is there or DBT is there. We are saying that when a lot of weapons are getting imported, so much money is going, why don't you work in those areas where, so I can do some research which is needed for the armed forces, which we encourage, but still we have still not given up the things. You can get connected. In-mass director, just write a mail to me.
When we talk about medical health, dental health is generally ignored. So as we want, like say, as you said, for the army and the armed forces, sometimes when they are in remote places, getting access to dental treatment when they are in pain, something which we need to also think about. And we're talking in terms of those type of places where there are places where we can help and do, integrated approach towards, like I said, machine learning. Integrated approach where we can do some research. If that is applicable, probably
it can be done. Like said, that the reason. Let's discuss separately on that. What you can do it. Like, see, there is trouble with those regions are there are no power, so no instrument can done. So if you can have something with a solar, or whether you can work even with people when they are walking, they are doing a lot of patrolling, so a lot of walking. Can I generate power from there and charge their instrument? Those regions there is no power. Right, and very difficult, but yes, I'm open to that. In fact, you can put it in my mail. Everybody knows that.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good.
I am Dr. Ramji from Biomedical Engineering. Sir, I work on fabricating nanosensors for quantifying the biomarkers in the urine and exit for all non-invasive surgeries. So this same work can be utilized for detecting warfare agent, biological weapons. Is DRDO concentrating on such activities where I can work?
Yeah, one project is given to DIET, Defense Institute of Advanced Studies, Pune, where from breathing they are able to do it. During COVID time itself, in fact, Israelis, we had a big contract where people are able to detect, and it is easier. In fact, our scientists from the DRD, Gwalior, they are working on that, and they say that it is much more easier to detect these phenomena. Particularly, we are looking for the high altitude elements if it can be done with a non-invasive method. Because again, for invasive, we need a doctor or paramedics in those regions. Soldiers will not give you in 5 minutes time. But it is, I think the research is quite advanced in this particular area, and people are broadly comfortable in this, how to detect these things.
And the same thing can be applied for detecting warfare agents.
Not say, it will not be same thing. Reason being, like, see, nerve agents, it takes hardly 1 second for the person to die. So where is the breathing when the person goes off, right? Some blister agent are there, sulfur blister agent. Yes, you can find out. See, during that time, we look for more of antidotes rather than detection. Symptoms are well known. Now, those things are well studied from the World War I. So if I'm not able to detect something which is very difficult to detect, I'll go for detection. If I'm knowing it automatically, I'll give the solution. Always another thing which I will ask all of you, that work for the solution rather than only sensors. Sensors are also very important part. But somewhere where these chemical and biological biology takes time, but chemical doesn't. Biology takes time for multiplication, but all agents which are chemical agents, it doesn't give you much time. Yes, biology, yes, it is. Yes.
In one of your slides, you presented people glued to their mobile phones. This is the worries like younger generation, they spend either time with a mobile phone or with their laptops. What's your advice to?
Oh, no, see, we, as a parent, we are seeing that we are giving the mobile to the even children who are 1 year, 1.5 years, because we don't want to devote our time. So what is happening there? You can imagine, even at the airport, I saw one lady with the 4 children and 4 of them are playing with a mobile. So it's our responsibility, in fact, rests with us. We stopped seeing TV during when children were small. Are we ready to sacrifice something for our next young generation? We stopped, let me tell you. And very truthfully, I was looking after 3 children, 1 my own and 2 my brother, son and daughter. We stopped TV. Reason being, you cannot see TV before your children when such kind of garbage is being done. In fact, let me also tell you that the Facebook, all founder members have left Facebook because they themselves are convinced that it is spoiling the human beings. So it is all people who have to decide their own life, but then it goes in the name of freedom that we should have the freedom. It's not good. Every family had to decide and society had to finally evolve through that. These are challenges.
And we are working on a project of early stage glaucoma detection using brain computer interface technology. I would like to know if you would be grateful if there are any suggestions or quotations on these things from the end.
Yeah, glaucoma, yes. In fact, I went to for my own checking up of these things, and a lot of hospitals are there. That's the reason. See, you can do that, but hospital had to be attached. You need to have a lot of images. During COVID time, we did it by seeing that X-rays, humans X-rays, can you predict that? And people were able to predict up to 99%. It is possible to do it because that is like diabetes is one of the killing things in the society. It is possible to do, but it will not go for the only defense. It is a dual use. And see, army people are supposed to be very fit. They are the people who get time for running. They are the people who get time for exercising. So less of this kind of diseases are there. They are more having on the higher Himalayas, lung problem and heart problems. Glaucoma is a less cause for them, lesser cause for them.
I am working with volume visualization of CT images. As you have started speaking about signage, may I think how far it's feasible to use signage for making the human to interact with the system, maybe for the surgeon to undergo the surgery?
Yeah, a lot of devices are there. Must be what is that? Da Vinci. There is already Da Vinci robot with the help of which they are able to do the operations. A lot of, in fact, a lot of training is possible, which people are able to do the AR, VR, and mixed reality. Today, a lot of startup companies are there from where they can create the Jammu and Kashmir scenario here in this room, and similarly for the medical world. But let me tell you, there is push and pull between the local researcher and the people who are marketing not to take the item from the foreign, and government had to interfere. You must be knowing some of the devices, prices have been capped. So there are other societal and marketing issues rather than actual thing. Today, AR, VR, and the training and the operations with the zooming and zooming out, all these things are possible and they are technology available in India. We don't have to get it from outside. I went to DFRL Mysore last week and I could see one person could demonstrate everything. I said that please give it to army. He said already I have given. Right, then we'll close it because I have to go somewhere else. And thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting.
Thank you, sir, for flooding us with valuable information on translation and summarization in HMI. I request the audience to be seated. One of the most important areas we can develop as professionals is competence in accessing and sharing knowledge. We are indeed glad to invite our keynote speaker for the day, Dr. B. Muthukumaran Sir, Vice President, Cybersecurity HTC Chennai, onto the stage. I request the audience to be seated. Audience, please be seated.
I request the students to come forward. Students, please maintain silence, and I request you to come forward and occupy the seat.
So your opportunities for other
Students, please maintain silence. And occupy the seats in the front.
I request Dr. Muthukumaran Sir to come onto the stage for the talk.
So I will not take more time from all of you. I've been a faculty for almost 20 years, and I'm also there in the industry, right, for almost now another 25 years. So I see both the worlds. And I was very happy to see the questions raised from biomedicine, especially biomedicine dentistry, because I have myself been a researcher in that space. I've been working especially in glaucoma. Somebody was talking about glaucoma. So where there is a diagnosis, very recently within my own team, we have a separate research division within HTC. So we have actually tested about 1,000 plus X-rays, and we were able to narrow down on onset of diabetics type 1 and type 2, very early stage, right in the beginning, and we are actually using it as a prototype in one of the eye hospitals in Chennai. So you see the research, you also see an application which is actually getting deployed today. Within that, it doesn't stop there. The problem is, it is also taken right into another surprisingly different domain for insurance. So today we want to know how the insurance could play a role in terms of premium. So I see that there is a glaucoma onset, there is a change in premium. I just wanted to highlight this. Another area, again in biomedicine, we should have heard about facial surgery. Different types of techniques are there. We just wanted to model a 3D modeling on the human face to check and predict how the face is going to look like if I move a tooth. So the way you want to move it up or down based on the type of arrangement. So that's another area where we were actually building up around 20 plus, 30 plus papers. So, I mean, why I'm bringing it up here is because I see AI applications, interest in AI. The core area today where we are working on, one, just by looking at the face, can we predict, can we estimate what is happening psychologically on the brain? It's a very interesting question. Say, for example, I was actually looking at the audience and I was able to pick up at least 2-3 people where there is a sleeping disorder. I mean, just by looking at the face, nothing new there. Maybe somewhere down the line, I could also see somewhere in the rear end, at least some 4 or 5 people who are very, very strong in singing just by the face. And then looking at the medical side of it, the medical side, when I say medical side, number 1, sleeping disorder, number 2, the operations in spleen and your large intestine, small intestine. So those areas, it's there right on the face. Right on the face. So you see the face, you are able to judge right now, or maybe 1 month down the line, or 3 months down the line, there is an onset. There is an onset of this particular disease which is coming up. So the beauty is, are we ready to take it out to the market? No, because it calls for extensive research. In fact, I just wanted to also thank one of the co-sponsors, the Ancient Medicine. That is the area where I see these results coming up. So I was able to pick up these material, all these material from the ancient literature, where you have dictums already given there, the methodology to solve the problem. It's somebody who has to take it out, check it, and then produce it. That's it. It was so simple. And I was really happy to see this Malaysian university, which has that potential. And this is one of the areas. Then let me just highlight another interesting area, very interesting area. That's why I raised the question. Listening to a voice, can we predict the disease? You'll be surprised. Actually, it is such a simple, straightforward equation. So I wanted to test it. So we actually picked up this team, and I had people who dialed in from US, Bangalore, with my core team. So when I tested with the Bangalore team, of course, I had to do a double testing because I'm also a researcher, I'm also a validator on the other end. So when we connected to this individual, based on the voice, the first impression is your running temperature. They have never met. Both the parties have never met. No idea how they look like. But the first impression is your running temperature. Okay, maybe. Can you please be more precise? The answer is you are maybe taking some decoctions on papaya. Most probably, I think you are looking at dengue onset. So we picked up the medical chart and it is dengue. So only with the voice, we were able to narrow down on this particular or disease pattern. I mean, this is just an example. US, able to pick up the back bone pain, the lower vertebra, narrow down to exactly where the problem was, just with the voice. So are these segments not exciting? I mean, you're non-invasive, you're looking at just a photograph or a voice, and you're able to narrow down right to the dot on what exactly the problem is. This is a beautiful, straightforward application of AI/ML, where we are trying to capture it, put it in the right spirit, so that we are able to identify disease onset or offset or the patterns. Just want to bring this to the table so that I could, have more researchers in this space. Is that the only area? This is on the biomedicine side. Of course, we have been working on brain signals, EEGs, EMRs, ECGs, EEGs, especially EEGs, the different types of probes where you want to put 16 probes or 8 probe to 16 probe to 32 probe signals. And based on the signal, electrical impulse, can we understand what is happening, what is seen? So that's another segment where some amount of energy was spent. Very recently, we were working on another interesting area, especially from the student community. You should be able to understand what exactly we are doing. You are asked to write a one-pager when you go for higher education. You're supposed to write a one-pager on why you want to do it. For any American university, you want to apply, you have to give one-pager. Let me tell you that one-pager gives me your life history. That one-pager is enough for me to exactly tell anything and everything about you. To put it in the right context, that one-pager tells me your vocabulary rating, which is straightforward. When I say vocabulary, automatically I know whether it is from a Tamil medium or English medium, whether it is from a city or a town, whether it is with a family member of 5 or 8, or a loner, or a person with worries, a person who is diverse. It's such a beautiful area, and we want to apply it. Application is more important here. So the application part of it, we had a chance to test the application in multiple zones. One of the zones is on the cybersecurity space, where there was a threat given to the CM. We have an email, a piece of text. And you're supposed to trace the text where you know very well the server is outside India. You're not going to get enough time, and you're supposed to come back in 8 hours. That's the window. So with this algorithm, we were able to narrow down and say this person is from these 3 districts. Deep South, just 3 districts. Okay, in the 3 districts, you see a fantastic population, narrowed down still. Okay, the person who has written it is a female. How do you know that? Algorithm. Okay, from there, can you give me a little more input? Okay, the person is between 29 years to 34 years. Narrowed down. From there, give me a little more information. The person should probably be school educated. And recently, marriage problem, some issues in the house. And it's an outburst towards the CA. So they are able to narrow down, move in that direction, reduce it, and within 4.5 hours, narrow down to the individual. So this is the beauty and power of algorithms, especially AI algorithms. We did a similar exercise with another bank in India. So they wanted to know, why should I hire somebody? I'm having a HR system in place, so I want to know, why should I hire A or B? Okay, give me the piece of text. Now I can map it back to what is the motive? What is the understanding? What is the motive? So based on the motive, we are able to narrow down again to say this person is joining this bank as a time pass. I mean, he didn't have any other job. There was an opportunity. He was able to clear the exam. There is no particular taste on banking, but still there is a job. Okay, fine. Or maybe because of recommendation, or maybe because of some pressure. It's not banking per se. So we tested it on a couple of banking recruits. We were able to narrow down and have a one-on-one discussion. It is truthful. So this is the power of AI algorithms. Right, I've touched upon a different area, which is psychology-based area. I've touched upon the biomedicine side of it. There is another area, interesting area, where again, purely defense. Why should I send a submarine in when I know very well it's going to fail in 5 days or 8 days? So can you give me an assurance, a 100% assurance or a 99.99% assurance that this submarine will not fail at least for the next 90 days, because the trip is for 45 days. Let it go in, come out, 45 days, we are good, then we do a testing. This is an area which is emerging, and this area is all about vibration analytics. AI and ML and vibration analytics. I don't know whether we have papers in that space. I couldn't identify papers. So vibration analytics tells me, which is again nothing back to my voice. So when I'm able to do voice-based diagnosis, can I not do a voice-based or a sound-based assurance program? So when I take my bike, based on the sound in the bike, you say bike is in good condition or not in good condition. When I take my car out, you say that the car is in perfect shape or there's going to be a problem. On the same lines, can I give an assurance on my submarine or any other material, for example, a plane? So just with the starting sound, the vibrations, the sentence, can we not predict and say it's going to be there for the next 90 days or 120 days or the trip up down? This is an AI/ML application, straightforward AI/ML application. So that's another area where there is a good amount of concentration going on. And let me tell you, a couple of people from Spain, they were in touch with us in my segment. So we want to verify and validate whether can we predict the petroleum rig failure. Onset of failure, not even failure, onset of failure, only with sound, acoustics, which is perfectly balanced. So there is a possibility. We were able to identify a couple of algorithms, and the rest falls back on data. So where is the data? So it has to be real time, which means you're looking at acoustics, a perfect engineering solution there. And based on the way the sound is coming in, can you not narrow down and say, okay, in the next 12 hours, this is going to have an impact? That's another area where I've been showing a lot of interest and connected with people. This is another specific area. And one final area, because we're talking about cybersecurity here, I have, in fact, my division, we have a separate, what do you call it, SIEM forensics created as a workbench with AI/ML models. And Tyagaraja College, a couple of researchers, they were in touch with me, and we were working on what do you call as intruder behavior modeling. Because what I see is log. A log is a journal entry. When I have a journal entry, it is because something has happened. If nobody is opening the machine, then there is no log. But when they open the machine, I have a log. Every click, I get a log. Every single click on the machine, I get a log. So when I go through the log, can I not map it back to the psychological modeling of that individual? Why is he doing what he is doing? He is now keying in something, he is opening an application, he is browsing something. So with that piece of data from my Apache web server or my Windows server, or the way he is logging in, or the way he is browsing in, you have enough data points there. Can I not predict? So this is a thought process. So we were able to again do a beautiful modeling of an intruder hacker when he moves in, and the way he is moving in, and the kind of activities which actually strengthens the hypothesis. So this is exactly what we are currently doing in my security lab, where we want to predict the onset of a hacker right before the activity comes out. Like, for example, today most of the hacking is somebody enters the machine and then they stay there idle for about 6 months, 1 year. So why is he idle? He is idle. But why is he idle? He is idle because of some reasons. And this particular trigger came somewhere in the year 2014, when there was a big hacking happened in a couple of banks across the globe. And the answers identified where they were sitting there for almost 1.5 years.
So when somebody is sitting in a banking channel for 1.5 years, why would he sit? Because there is a reason, there is a psychological reason. Otherwise, you just go open and with the current mindset, fast food, open, hack, and say, okay, it is hacked, not done. But today we don't do that. We're sitting idle for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, waiting for something. So what is that something? And the biggest nightmare, let me also share the nightmare part of it. Cybersecurity, we cannot sleep. Trust me, none of us can sleep in cybersecurity. The world of cybersecurity is so frustrating. Operation side is so frustrating. None of us can sleep. We have a sleep syndrome. The reasons are, your computer, does it have a motor running in the hard drive? And the motor, is it a stepper motor? If that is a stepper motor, can it be controlled? And your hard disk, which is rolling, right? The read-write head versus the hard drive, the gap is less than one nanometer. And the second it is spoiled, the hard disk collapses, which means there is a crash, you can't use it. You just cannot use it. That's it, gone. So you go for a backup, you go for a backup and a backup and a backup. Now, a $1 million question is, let us say I'm sitting in a banking system, the hard drives, and I'm waiting for a right time to collapse the stepper motor, which means I'm creating an economic crisis because none of the data is available in paper today. Everything is online. Where is it sitting? It is sitting in a hard disk. And the hard disk is corrupted. Overnight, across the globe, across the country, 600,000, 5,000, 10,000 hard drives collapsed. Now, what will happen to the economics of the country? Because none of the data is available in paper. So I, as an individual, I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to ask a question. I deposited so much money. Where is the proof? No proof. So what do I do for living? Question mark. Economical crisis. Now, is this a possibility? If this is a possibility, what is the backup? How do we escape out of this kind of a crisis? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. How do you know it is possible? Because the same thing happened somewhere in 2014 in Iran nuclear reactors. The first industrial weapon, which is sitting there playing with a stepper motor and thereby collapsing the nuclear program of that country, which actually put them back by 10 years. So it is possible? Yes, it is possible. So if this is possible, can that have an effect in India also? But what is the segment? This is a possible segment, which means every country, every bank, every single system, you can anticipate zero-day threat sitting idle. If that is true, then can the people defending cyber space sleep? Now you understand the $1 million question. So I'm sitting on cybersecurity, and I'm supposed to ensure that my client data and everything is in place. Then they are usually sitting on the hard drive, which means that is the reason why we want to go to cloud. And again, in a cloud, it is sitting on a hard drive. Right? If I want to keep moving, copies everywhere, 3 copies, 5 copies, big data, I'm only replicating it. And if it is infected, what is the guarantee that I have a proof to avoid an economic crisis? The biggest nightmare. We are looking for AI solutions, even there. This is what I wanted to let you know. And finally, on the other segments like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. So I've been into multiple space, right from defense up to mechanical engineering, where we are looking at optimization, platform optimization, production optimization solutions, and then business optimization solutions, process optimization. So all these areas, there are fantastic applications, right from biomedical up to mechanical, up to aerospace defense. We're working in multiple spaces. This is what I wanted to tell you. I want to share this piece of data. I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity, giving HTC an opportunity to share our thoughts in this space. We are active in this particular area. This is the message. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the informative talk on mission interaction with facial and voice recognitions and the importance of cybersecurity in AI, and the vast research domains involving it. You made us think in different dimensions of possible future applications. Indeed, it was much productive for us. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Every celebration is an experience. The external fades away, and the internal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our hearts. We are reminded that events like this are milestones on the journey of life and reminders of God's fidelity all through. As we come to the concluding part of our inaugural ceremony, I invite Dr. V. Saravanan, VP Academic, to propose the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to all. So I offer warm welcome to all the guests, participants, students, and teachers on this beautiful and glorious day. I'm really thankful for giving me a chance to stand before you and to deliver the vote of thanks to such an honorable audience. Because this type of conferences cannot happen overnight, and the wheels stopped moving about a week ago, and it requires planning and bird's eye for details. So we have been fortunate to be supported by a team of very active and dedicated faculty members of the Department of Computer Science and Applications, so who are all well versed in their jobs. First of all, I am thankful to Almighty for giving us courage and spirit to arrange this glorified conference, as His blessing has turned this event into grand success. I, on behalf of my team of faculty members and staff, possibly warm thanks to all the audience for their significant presence in this function. Especially want to thank our Honorable Chairman Sir in his absence here, the SRM Group of Institutions, Ramapram and Trichy, for his blessings and support. Thank you very much, sir, for your blessings, support, guidance in conducting this conference. We thank our co-chairman, sir, in his absence here for his continued guidance. His loving encouragement assures us to always believe in things. Thank you very much, sir, for your constant guidance and support. I want to thank our most respected chief guest, Dr. Upendra Kumar Singh, sir, Director General Life Sciences, DRDO, New Delhi, for his valuable time today. So he has truly made this day full of knowledge for us. His deep and intellectual way of imparting the knowledge has added to the glory of, to this conference. So we have no words to offer gratitude for his valuable presence in this conference. And we thank him very much on behalf of the organizing committee and the SRM Group of Institutions. My sincere thanks to our respected guest of honor, Mr. V. Muthukrishnan, sir, Vice President, Cybersecurity HTC Chennai, for his presence and enlightening us with his rich experience in the field of cybersecurity, starting from the biomedical to the mechanical engineering and covering all the domains. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and being a part of this inaugural function. I would like to thank our respected special guest, Dr. Devi Ma'am, Professor Head, Department of Computer Applications, Bharatiya University, Coimbatore. We are really honored to have her among us. Your speech was truly amazing. It made us realize that the technology will always guide us to proceed further in our life. And I feel happy that I was a part of the Department of Computer Applications in the year 2001-4, and it was really fortunate to work under such a great professors and researchers. Thank you, ma'am, for your time and support. My special word of thanks to Mr. Kamalakannan, sir, Chairman of Computer Society of India, for their collaborations and presence. Your association means a lot to us, and we value your relationship, sir. Thank you. Our sincere thanks to our respected Vice Chancellor, Asian Institute of Science, Medicine and Technology, Malaysia, for their association and taking the conference into truly international level. Thank you, sir. In addition, we are grateful to our respected Chief Director, Dr. Seduraman, sir, in his absence here, Chief Director, SRM Group of Institutions, Ramapram and Trichy campus, for his constant guidance and support in all the stages of this conference. We are grateful to our Director, sir, Dr. V. Bharati, sir, Director, SRM Group of Institutions, Ramapram campus, for your presence. Your motivating words and interest in this time means a lot to us. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to all deans and faculty members of SRM group of institutions from our campus, and a special word of thanks to our Dean Research Sir for the constant help and guiding in fixing the chief list for this conference. Thank you very much, sir. My sincere thanks to our Dean Science and Humanities in his absentia, Major Dr. M. Venkatraman sir, for his continuous support and blessings in organizing all these activities successfully. Thank you very much, sir. This type of functions was not possible without the efforts of our VP Admin and the HOD of MCA, Dr. J. Dilipan sir. So thank a lot for your inspirational positive approach in each and every stage of this conference. Thank you. My thanks are due to Dr. Agastya, Professor and Head BCA program, for his guidance and support. Thank you very much, sir. I want to thank all the teaching faculty members of the Department of Computer Science and Applications. We fully believe that we are nothing without their support. Thank you all, my team. I appreciate the efforts to all the authors who will be presenting the papers today. Their participation have added to the beauty of this function. We would like to thank our publication partner, Taylor and Francis, for accepting to publish the conference proceedings. I'm very happy to say that the proceedings will be submitted for indexing with Scopus as well as to the Web of Science databases. Thanks to all the guests for adorning the occasion and sharing their experiences today. Once again, thanks a lot to all the people in this ground for making this function honorable and mesmerizing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your thankful words. I request the audience to rise up as the dignitary lead the honor. Please be seated. We hope this conference will turn out to be informative and interesting for each one of you. Thank you once again for joining with us.
Participants, we have the lunch hereafter. Please find your venue details for the tracks. Track 1 will be conducted in Block 5, 5th floor lab. Track 2 will be in Block 5, 4th floor lab. Track 3 will be in Block 5, 3rd floor gallery hall. Track 4